And I will say, I met Jack's film, and you actually met him, and I would like you to talk about that experience. But I want to get this comment in. Um, but I met him in 2015. He's from like my area, like 20, 30
Yeah,
minutes away from me. Um, and so I will say he's probably one of like the nicest like creators
yeah,
that I've ever met. And you can tell that
absolutely.
he's very like passionate about like helping others. And because I had another friend who's actually gotten a shout out from him, not to discredit your shout out because it's still a
Oh
very
no.
big deal that you got one, but he's very like open about kind of support because I think he gets it. Like to me, he's
Yeah,
just he gets it. Like he understands what people are going through because he went through the same thing, um, and like just couldn't be like a nicer dude. So when you meet the guy, does he like know who you are? And he's like,
it
yeah,
was
he's that
interesting. Throughout the entirety of VidCon, I was wearing my own merch,
guy.
which
Okay.
is feels extremely cringy. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just follow through and act like there's nothing of it.
Yeah.
Uh, so I was wearing like one of my hats, and so basically the whole situation there. The year before I had met the guy who's in charge of his merch company at VidCon, and so again I went by and I said hi to him uh, this past year, and he like on the last day he was like, "Hey, come by here at like I think it was like four. Come by at like 4 o'clock. There's something you need to be here for." I was like, "Okay, can you tell me anything else?" And he's like, "If I tell you anything else, security won't let it happen." So I was like, okay, yeah, Jack's going to be here. And so I ended up getting there at the time. I walk up and I'm like, I don't know if you know who I am or if you like remember me at all. He's like, yeah, Mr. And he started to say Mr. D Shorts because like that was the
Yeah.
mistake that he made on stream. And he's like, no, MRD Shorts, sorry. What's up? And so we started just talking from there. And it was like he remembered it almost immediately. Like as soon as I said, "Hey, I don't know if you know who I am," he was like, "Yeah, of course I know." And like Aaron was there as well. Like I
Yeah.
ended up talking to both of them, and they were just super nice. Like it was just like there were like 50 people in line behind me,
Mhm.
and I was like, should I keep moving? And they're just continuing to talk to me.
Wow.
It was really cool.
That's awesome, dude. And that's really like, I think to like meet someone who you admire like that, and then just have them like just really treat you like a human being and be like really kind
Yeah,
and interested it's a super meaningful experience, you know, like
yeah,
I can't really think of like a more um impactful thing that could happen at VidCon, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And well, the thing there actually, it was interesting. Like looking back on it, uh, both of you know who Odd One's Out is, right?
I
Yeah.
don't actually.
Oh, he does like
Okay,
animation stuff.
yeah, he's
Okay.
in the same field as Alex Clark. So it was interesting that like that summer was like the looking back, it was like a summer of Jack's films for me because it was like I was introduced to Odd One's Out because he made a video about Jack's films. So I watched that. I was also introduced to Ben Folds, who is a
Ah,
fantastic musician
rocking
because
the
of Jack.
suburbs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Over the Hedge, the
Yeah,
Over the
there
Hedge
you go.
soundtrack. Yeah, um, but so I was introduced to both of them because of Jack, and like right at the beginning of the summer, I went to a concert that was nearby for Ben Folds, and then at VidCon, like I said, I have that connection to Alex, and he was like, he randomly texted me one morning of VidCon, and he's like, "Hey, are you available today to come and help out with a live show?" And I
Whoa.
was like, "Okay." Um, and so like literally, he just picked me up from you know where the gas station is down the street from the convention center.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
like he just like we just waited for him. It was me and my friend Wes. Because we were both there together. So like we just met up at the gas station. He just pulls up. We get in the car and then we just go to his live show that he was doing with Odd Ones Out. So like I met James there, and then like the next day, Jack. So it was like everything kind of came full circle by the end
Wow.
of it, and it was like just really interesting, like all those connections that were made because of Jack.
Yeah. How I kind of share the similar, like I've met creators who I've, look up to before. I don't think I've ever had the experience where they actually watch my, actually I have, where like they actually watch your stuff afterwards or whatever, and or like stuff like that. And I know every time I talk to like a creator who I look up to or whatever, it's really motivating. So after you have that conversation with Jack's Films, I just cannot imagine that you just don't go back and just like, I mean, does that
Yeah.
not like motivate you, or like it's like, okay, someone who I look up to uh had this really kind stuff to say, doesn't that just make you want to just like, you know never
Vid
like only make videos and just never sleep? And I don't know.